So something we're doing today is we're evaluating houses from the desktop. Time is the most valuable asset in the world, and you can't spend all your time running around and looking at 10, 20 houses a day, or even a week at that matter, and they not even come close to making sense. So you have to be able to do evaluations from the desktop to see if the numbers are even close, and then you can either go and look at the house yourself and or send your inspector to go and look at the house themselves and send you back 100, 150 pictures with the full report. We do it virtual, so we use inspectors, but you still, either way you do this, if you're doing it in person or if you're using an inspector, you still have to be conscious of your time and the value of that, and not go and waste time looking at every single house when it doesn't even come close to making sense. So here we're going to get a property, we're going to go through it, something that's on the market for sale. We're going to go through it, the pictures that they have available, the description, and come up with a rough repair estimate, an ARV based on the comparables in the market, and then come to a price that we would have to purchase it at, and make sure that it's close. If it's listed for 80 grand and we have to be at 20, it's not going to make sense. If it's listed at 80 and we can be at 80, make it happen ASAP. If it's listed at 80 and we have to be in the 60 to 70 range, it's worth going to look at least. So you want to make sure it's close before you waste your time going on to the next step, and that's what we're doing right here on the desktop. Top to bottom, everything you need to know. One other thing on this, so there's ways to find houses that are listed for sale if you work with a realtor. What that looks like is you can set yourself up on a search in certain zip codes, certain price ranges, whatever type of house you're looking for. There's something on there called the description, or the agent to agent remarks, and you can put terms that you are looking for. So if something gets listed and in the description it says needs TLC, needs tender loving care, meaning it needs work, or gutted to the studs, or tenant just destroyed, or any term, as is, sale as is, any terms that make it seem like the property could need work, you can put those terms in there, and then anytime a house gets listed, you can get those listings sent over to you. So that's kind of a way to only look at houses that ideally need work, instead of looking at hundreds of new listings every single day. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go through it. We're going to evaluate it on the desktop, and then we're going to see if it makes sense or not. Alright, so here we go. So we're going to assume that we got an email from a realtor for a property on Homecroft Drive here in Columbus, Ohio. And let's say this one actually just got listed 2 days ago, and it said needs TLC, needs tender loving care, which means that the property needs work. So that can be one of your keywords on the search. So we got the email. So first thing I do is drop it into Google. Go to Google, drop it in, 3386 Homecroft Drive, and I want to look at the map because I want to know where it's at. Once you get really into real estate and you start looking at more and more properties, you'll learn zip codes, you'll learn cross streets, you'll learn neighborhoods. So I want to know exactly where this house is located, and then you have to pull comps. You have to pull comps to see what the property is worth, and you need to know where it's located to be able to pull the correct comps. So right here, I'm gonna zoom in, so I know it's off 71 Broadway in Mays. Next, you go to redfin.com, you type in the address, 3386 Homecroft Drive, Columbus. Boom, here we are. So then I'm going to scroll down to the map. It's listed, so it doesn't have the map. So let's do it this way. Here's another way to do it. So now we're on Homecroft. So this is our area right here. If you look at our map, Google Maps, you see Broadway, Mays, and 71. So this is the neighborhood that I want to pull comps from. You don't want to go across like heavy main streets. So you see Mays is a thicker street than anything else, and then you see Broadway is a thicker street than anything else around it. So I'm going to stay right in this pocket right here to pull all the comps. So I know my area, so now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go to filters. This is on for sale, so you have to turn it to sold, and then we go 6 months, so last 6 months.
Why do you do 6 months?
6 months is just a good data point. Because if you go like 2 years back, the market's changed. If you go 1 year back, the market could be changed. If you go 3 months back, it might not be enough data for you. So we always do 6 months, and then if there's like 100 properties in the last 6 months, then we might shrink it down to 3 because there's plenty of data. But if we go 6 months back and there's like 2 houses that have sold, you know, we might go a year back or 2 years back just to try and find any data point that we can find. But we always start with 6 months.
Okay.
So our house is right here, the $83,000. Is that it? I don't know if that's it, but our house is exactly right here. So the next thing you need to go to the county auditor, whatever county you're in. Type in the address. 3386 Home Crawl. And then scroll to the bottom. So it's 1,100 square feet, 3 bed, 1 bath. And then you want to see if there's like a garage or anything like that on it. So if you look at this, there's no garage back here. So it's just parking with the driveway, 1,100 square feet, 3 bed, 1 bath, and it's a Cape Cod. So I'm trying to get a comp as close to that as possible. I don't want to comp a ranch or a 2-story house. I want to try and find a Cape Cod. So it's identical, it's the best comp you can get. If you can't find a Cape Cod, then you want to just try and get something as close to 1,100 square feet as possible, even if it is a ranch. But you always want to try and comp like for like. So 1,100 square feet, so boom, here we are. So now we're just going to start bouncing around this area right here and see if we can find any good comps. So this one's at 130. Let's look at 3 bed, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet. It's a Cape Cod, so let's look through it. No garage, so this might be a perfect comp. Keep looking. Obviously, it's fully renovated. It's got new floors, new paint, updated kitchen, new appliances. But you look at this, it's not crazy over the top. They don't have stainless steel appliances. I think those are Formica countertops. So it looks great, but it's not like way overboard. So again, when you renovate houses, you want to renovate it exactly to what the specs of your comparable houses are. So if this has white appliances, we're going to put in white appliances. If this has Formica countertops, we're going to put in Formica countertops. So the most, if you got 4 comps and 3 are white appliances and 1 stainless steel, we're going white appliances. If 3 are stainless steel and 1's white, we're going stainless. So you want to match it as close as possible. But you look through it, super nice house, fully renovated. The basement, so the basement's like partially finished, kind of. Like that's got some drywall over there. You got concrete floor, so no flooring. You got the regular outside brick wall here. So you want to take into account, any extra features on the house. That's a good comp. That's a 130. So let's bounce over here. This is 105. They're just selling that as land. Let's go right here, 116. So 3 bed, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet. It does have a garage. So let's look at this. It's probably not renovated. It doesn't have any pictures. Bedrooms, new roof, updated kitchen. So this one doesn't have pictures. So when they don't have pictures, it's hard to use it as a comp because you just don't know what it was. And then this one's 140. It doesn't have pictures. That doesn't help. 125,000. That's a duplex. 156,000. So that's got an extra bedroom and it's extra bathroom. It's 100 square feet bigger. So this is a 156. So it being bigger, having an extra bedroom, having an extra bathroom, looking at the pictures, it's fully functioning. It doesn't need a full gut rehab. To me, our property is not worth that just because that property is bigger than ours is. So now we got 130 and 156. We know it's not worth 156. It could be worth 130. So we just want to keep looking, find a couple more data points. We got this one here, 3 bed, 2 bath, 900 square feet. It has a garage. It's a ranch, not a Cape Cod, so close, not perfect. I'm gonna look at the pictures on it though. It's updated, looks nice. Let's see if it's got the basement finished. No finished basement, but it does have a garage. So it's 200 square feet smaller than ours, 1 extra bathroom than ours, and it has a garage and ours does not. So you got to kind of bounce numbers around to make it similar to what ours is. So we got that. It's like a 164, 3 bed, 1 bath, 1,500 square feet. So about 400 square feet bigger than ours. Fully renovated, super nice, really nice. Kitchen's off the chain. Got stainless steel appliances. Let's keep looking through here. Basement, not finished, but big basement, and it has a whole second house. What? Oh, it's got a huge 3 seasons room. Massive off the back of the house. So that's like obviously a bonus feature. So again, ours is not worth that because we don't have a $30,000 3 seasons room off the back of our house. So it's not 164, it's not 156. We were at 130. Let's just try and find one more. Cape Cod, boom, 3-1, 1246. So this is like 50 to 75 square feet bigger than ours. Fully renovated, looks great. Formica countertops, stainless steel appliances, new paint, new floors. Let's keep looking. Basement, not finished, but a nice basement, and it has a garage. So it does have a 2-car garage. So we got this at 152. We had ours at 130, and we had a couple others at 155 and 160. But those also have better features than ours. Just like this does. At 152, it had a better feature at a garage, and it's about 100 square feet bigger than ours. So if you adjust down to where you need to be, in my opinion, between all of these houses, I think ours will sell in the 135 to 138 range. Because if you remember, you look at this one, the 130, it's pretty freaking close to ours, or what ours is going to look like at the end of the day. Some of the finishes, white appliances versus stainless steel appliances, are the only differences. So, actually I would run my numbers at 130 because this is a very, very good comp. But, if I did this property, I would probably list it at 135 or 139 just to try and get some extra money. But the numbers have to make sense at 130 because that's truly, that is a phenomenal comp in that area. Because it's a Cape Cod, finishes are very similar, no garage, just like ours. So that's a tremendous comp. So we would say the ARV is $130,000.
And what's our house selling for right now? What's it listed for?
It is listed for, I lost it. Yeah. Redfin, 3386 Homecroft. It is listed for $79,900.
Okay.
So now that you pulled the ARV, now you have to know what it's going to take to get to that ARV. So let me pull up an analyzer.
So just looking at the photos right now, so looking at the photos and looking at, let's say, Google Street View, what's the work that you need to do?
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
So right here, you look at it, it's got a dimensional roof, so I'm going to assume that the roof is good. The gutters look fine. It looks like the outside needs power washed. You see some chipping paint right here on the siding, so the siding probably needs painted. We need a couple landscaping, some flower beds, some mulch, maybe a couple bushes. So outside looks like it needs painted, power washed, and landscaped from the front picture. We don't have a picture of the back. That's why you go and look at the house, or you send an inspector to take 150 pictures of the house, and then they send those to you, and then you can do your evaluation like that as well. But we're going to go on site, so you get firsthand experience on all this. So then you look in here, looks like the flooring needs redone, just sanded and refinished. Looks like the walls need painted. Same thing, the whole house needs paint, the floors need redone.
What do you think about the windows?
Windows are fine, so those are vinyl windows. So vinyl is newer, but you got to make sure when you go there, they're not cracked and damaged, because then you got to replace them. But wood windows and vinyl windows, if they're vinyl, you can keep them. If they're wood or like metal, most of the time you have to replace them. You got to base it on the comps. If all the comps have old windows, you can keep them. If all the comps have vinyl windows, you got to update them. But when we get there, you actually got to look at the windows and make sure that they're not snapped in half. So keep going. So kitchen, from what this looks like, it looks like we would replace the countertops, maybe a new backsplash. Once we get there, we'll put better eyeballs on it. Probably paint these cabinets, paint them white, make them pop. Change these little pools, the doorknob things, to some stainless steel, brushed nickel. And then probably replace the appliances. Again, that's something we're going to have to look at when we get there. But these look pretty rough. So from what I can see, countertops, paint, pools, maybe appliances. Again, this is all from pictures. This is why we do the picture, the desktop evaluation, and then we go out into the field to look at it.
What about the flooring?
So this looks like tile. So tile is a little different because if you replace tile, you got to chip it up, and that takes labor, which is more man hours, which is more money. Sometimes you can go over top of it. You got to see how the floors meet each other from the hardwood to the tile, if one's elevated or not. So we're gonna see that when we get on. But this tile does not look pretty. So I would think if it was me, I would plan on replacing it. Then if I look at this back door, it just looks really old and rotted, and so that's something I'm gonna look at specifically when we get there, to see if that needs done. the whole bathroom needs done. Obviously molded, so everything in the bathroom needs done for sure. So we're gonna go out and take a look at the property, and then we're gonna evaluate it and actually put eyeballs on it. But when we get back, we're gonna go over budgeting, how to actually estimate repairs, and how to put it into a deal analyzer to see if it's actually profitable. This is the sheet that we use, so it's got repair budgets on here. This isn't a full gut $300,000 type of repair budget. This is more of a cosmetic, 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe $50,000 type of repair budget. But it's got all the pricing on here. Obviously pricing varies for everybody. This is a rough estimate. This is what we pay. So you got pricing on here, you got the deal analyzer. You can see, you can put in, hold times, renovation costs, purchase costs, financing costs, and it can shoot out a number at the bottom to tell you total profitability and ROI, return on investment. So you can actually tell if this is a good deal or not. So this is what we evaluate deals with. My team uses this every single day, all day. We do have a private Facebook group for real estate investors as well. Part of joining that group is you get access to these types of documents. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. But we're 100% going to do a whiteboard version of this, and we're going to show you real numbers on the whiteboard. This is just way more detailed. So if you're interested in it, check the link or private message me. I can give you the details on the group. All the numbers on this deal, see if it actually makes sense before we ever go out into the property and spend our time walking through the property. So here's the numbers. If you look at this picture here, like we already talked about, it needs exterior paint done because you can see the chipping on the siding. So right here, we're going to do exterior paint. Included in exterior paint, normally people will power wash it before they paint it. So this is a power wash the gutters, the siding, and then paint it. It's probably going to roughly cost about $1,900. And I'm pulling these numbers from experience. This is just me doing hundreds of renovation projects, so I know what these things cost. But like I mentioned, in that spreadsheet, it actually has budget line items of what we pay for projects. So this we're just putting together on the whiteboard.
What spreadsheet?
The spreadsheet, it's called a deal analyzer and repair estimator spreadsheet. You can find it in the Facebook group, like I mentioned earlier. Private message me, comment, or check the link to get more details on the group. But it has all this in a spreadsheet, super simple to evaluate properties. So looking at that, you got exterior paint, you got landscaping. So from that picture, it doesn't look like there's massive, huge bushes and everything's out of whack. It looks like it just needs some mulch and a couple flower beds basically. Just spruce it up, make the curb appeal look better. So we'll put $500 on that line item because it needs a little bit of work. And then if you go to this next picture, like we said, it needs flooring and paint. So from this picture, you can see that the hardwood floors need refinished. And then the inside of the house needs painted. 99.9% of the houses we buy, we paint the entire inside. I think there's been one property in my career, maybe two, where we didn't paint. So paint is like everyday type of thing. You gotta paint houses. So for interior paint, this is paint the ceiling, paint the trims, paint the doors, paint the walls. This would probably cost about $2,500 to $3,000. So we're gonna put $3,000 up here. Sometimes we'll save some money if the trim and the doors are brown. You don't have to paint the trim. If the trim and the doors are white and they look good, you might not necessarily have to paint the trim. But 99.99% of the time, we paint the walls. Sometimes we don't paint the ceiling. Sometimes we don't paint the trim. But this one, from what I can see, it looks like everything's dirty. So this is a budget to paint everything in the house. And then flooring as well. We got a flooring section right here. We're going to come back to it in 1 second once we get all the flooring put together, so we can go through exactly what it is. But in this picture right here, this is hardwood flooring. You're going to have to sand it down and refinish it, and then it'll look like it's brand new. This is kind of the same picture, paint and flooring. The vinyl windows, they are vinyl, so when you go to the house, we're assuming that these are in good working order. That's why there's no window budget right here. But you got to check that. If they're all damaged, then you're going to have to replace the windows as well. Now we're looking at the kitchen. Like I said, looking at this picture, the countertops look terrible. So countertops look horrible. So we're going to put new countertops in. So countertops are right here. And when we looked at the comparable properties, they were Formica countertops, not granite. So granite for this kitchen probably be $1,500, $2,000. Formica countertops are way cheaper. and that is what is needed for that market for ARV of $130,000. Remember, we already had that price. The ARV, the after repair value, once it's fixed up, it's going to sell at 130 grand. To get it to that value, we need to put Formica countertops in, and that's probably about $500. It's a terrible looking five. Next thing, the appliances, in my opinion, on that picture look like they're destroyed and really, really old. So we're going to budget to put all new appliances in the property. But again, that's something you check and confirm if we get to a point where we go and look at the property. But for all new appliances, the comparable properties had white appliances, mostly white appliances. So we're going to put new white appliances in. So that budget for all new white appliances is probably about $1,800. And then in here, the cabinets look decent in my opinion. But like I said, we're going to paint them white and we're going to put brushed nickel pools on them. And then if you look in here, over here on the right, right here, you can see that the cabinets are, one of the drawers or two of the drawers are kind of broken. So you might have to patch a little bit of the cabinet. So how we budget it for a small kitchen, which in my opinion this is a small kitchen, we do $700 for the painting of the cabinets. We do $300 for the pools, and we'll put $500 in there to fix any broken cabinets. So this kitchen is going to be $1,500, which is cabinets. Cabinets is going to be $1,500. And then in here as well, if you look at the flooring, it's tile flooring. That flooring doesn't look that good. So we're just going to budget to put laminate flooring on top of it. But when you go to the property and walk through it, you're going to have to make sure that if the hardwood's here and the tile's here and then the laminate's here, it's just not going to work because the flooring's not the same. So if the tile's super elevated already, it's going to be very, very difficult to put flooring on top of that. I take all that back. We're going to rip out the tile and we're going to put laminate down because putting laminate on top of tile is just not a good thing to do. So in my opinion, we would sand and refinish the hardwood floors. We would tear up the tile, put laminate down, and we would put carpet up on the second floor. So for all flooring, it's probably going to be in the $3,000 range based on the square footage of the house and based on how much carpet per square foot costs, sand and refinishing costs, LVT costs. So if you do budget for flooring, we're going to do about $3,000 on there. So that covers the kitchen. So let's go to the next one. So same thing here. Looks like you're painting the walls and the trim and the doors and everything. And then same thing on flooring. We already touched that. This door, those doors are really expensive. They're like $1,000. So we're going to assume that this door is working and just needs cleaned. But again, that's something you're going to have to look at once you get on site. Same thing, paint, carpet, not carpet, painting and sanding and refinishing the floors. Sanding, painting, refinishing the floors. This bathroom is a beauty. So this bathroom needs replaced, obviously. Most of the time we keep the tubs and then you can refinish the tubs to make them shine again, make them look really, really good. So we're going to assume that the tub can be saved. And then if you look at the surround is molded and old. So it definitely needs a new surround. So you're going to put a new surround in. Toilet, if the rest of the bathroom looks like that, the toilet probably needs redone. And then the sink's just a really cheap looking pedestal. So we're going to put like a real cabinet, new vanity in there for the sink, replace the mirror, replace the shower head, put up new towel bars. So for all of that, for that bathroom, again, this is rental grade finish. You're finishing the surround with a Formica surround. You're not putting a tile surround, which can cost a lot of money. So this is very, very basic finishes. We're going to put $2,000 in the budget for the bathroom. And then this is the part of the Cape Cod which the third bedroom's at. So in here you got to paint. I would put carpet down here because they have some ugly looking tile. Carpet again is very comparable to the other houses that we looked at. They have carpet in the bedrooms. So we're going to put carpet in this bedroom, paint it, patch a little bit of drywall, and we'll be good to go on this. And then we're back to the outside. So these are a couple other things that I noticed when looking through the property. So we'll run through the rest of these. Drywall, there's a couple holes in the drywall. So we just budgeted about $250 to patch a hole. There might be a couple holes, so we'll just throw $500 in that budget.
So it's okay to not know every single dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an estimate. This is an estimate, and down here you'll see a contingency budget, which we're going to add in. to cover anything, any uh-ohs or things you forget, because when you get into projects, you're going to forget budgets. You're going to forget something, and the contingency budget can cover that for you. So AC, if you look at this picture right here, you see the AC in the window? Normally, not all the time, normally when you see an AC in the window, it's because the house doesn't have air conditioning. Otherwise, they wouldn't have an AC unit. So we're going to assume that it needs a new air conditioning unit. So we'll put $2,200 in here. Lights, anytime we renovate a house, 99% of the time we replace the light fixtures. For a lower end house, $130,000 entry level type of house, light fixtures might cost $500. If you're renovating a $500,000 property in a really good area of town, light fixtures are going to cost you a few $1,000s. So it's based on where the property is located. The lights, we're going to throw $500 in there. And then contingency, you do 10 to 20% of the budget as your contingency. So let's add all this up. We got 3,000 plus 1,900 plus 2,500 plus 3,500 plus 1,800 plus 1,500 plus 500 plus 2,200 plus 500. So you got $17,400 for the budget. And then we'll do 15% of that for the contingency. So you multiply that times 15%. So your contingency budget is $2,600. The better you get in the business at estimating repairs, the lower you can put your contingency budget. But when you're starting out, you need to have a healthy contingency budget in there because you're going to forget things. You just don't know what to look for. So $2,600 in the contingency budget. Oh, I forgot the first number.
17,600.
So 17,600 plus 2,600 for a total budget of $20,200. That's what that's what we're projecting our renovation budget to be. So that is your renovation budget. Again, this is an estimate. This isn't 100% guaranteed, but that's the number we're going to use to evaluate to see if we should spend any more time on this deal. So now you come over here, you look at the ARV, which is $130,000, which we already determined based on the comparables of the neighborhood. So you have that number there. You have your rehab budget of $20,200. And then closing costs. So when you go and sell the property, you have to pay the realtors, a listing agent, and a buyer's agent normally to sell the property, which here in Ohio is 6%. And then you have to pay closing fees as well, which is usually an additional 2 to 3%. So if you take $130,000, it's based on the sale price. We'll do times 9%, 6% realtor fees, 3% closing costs. That's $11,700. So we're going to add that to the closing costs, $11,700. Lender fees, lender costs. So when you buy this property and renovate it, you're probably going to have to borrow money to buy it and then borrow the money to renovate it. So you got to pay your lender interest. So this cost can vary drastically depending where you get your money from. But we're just going to assume, you get a lender at, 10%. It's probably going to be somewhere in the realm of $2 to $3 grand in interest payments to your lender. So we're just going to put $3,000 here. But again, this can all be calculated. It's on a spreadsheet. You can do the calculations yourself, but this is all very, very simple. Once you understand it and you know the numbers you need to look for, you can put this into a spreadsheet very, very easily. So then you got to work the numbers backwards. So if you got a $130,000 ARV, this property is currently listed at $79,900. So we're going to use that number just to go from there. So you got $79,900 for the purchase. You got $3,000 in lending costs. You got $11,700 in closing costs, and you got $20,200 in renovation costs. So that is $114,800. So if you do $130,000 of the ARV minus $114,800, it would leave you with a net profit of $15,200, which for my business and the way we operate, we look for a minimum of a $20,000 profit or a minimum of a 15% ROI, whichever one is higher. So if we're making 20 grand, but the ROI is only 10%, we don't do the deal. The ROI has to be at least 15% or a minimum of a $20,000 profit. If it's a 30% ROI, but the profit's only 10 grand, we're not doing the deal. So for something like this, we would have to drop the price down
Let's say if we got it at $70,000, so we instead of 79.9, we did it at 70. So we would add $7,900 to the budget. 114,800 minus 9,900 minus 130. That would put you at a total profit of $25,100. Which, if you take that and divide it by purchase price, 20% return. So that's a good deal, which means you could probably pay, $72,000, $73,000, $74,000 for this. But if you did the numbers like that, that's where the numbers would fall. So it would be an ARV of 130, projected renovation budget, closing costs, lender fees, purchase price, we're going to assume $70,000, potential profit of $25,100. So if I was evaluating this deal, it's listed at 79.9. We need it in the 70 to 73, 74 range. This is close enough to go look at the property. Because when you come in and you can say, hey, I'm buying with cash, I'll close in a week, they might drop the price a little bit for you because they want to get rid of the property. Cash is king in this business. So the quicker you can move, the better off you are. If you have cash, you're better off. So for this, again, the Mayo will probably fall in the $72,000-ish range. And the Mayo is your maximum allowable offer. It's the most that you can pay for the property to still make the returns that you need to make the deal profitable. So these are kind of the numbers. This is how we evaluated it. If this was the deal I was looking at and I saw these numbers, I would then go look at the property or send my inspector out to look at the property.